Thank you for joining us wherever you might be on this special day for University of Arizona Wildcat football. My name is Brian Jeffries. I'm proud to be the radio voice of the Wildcats and honored to host today's event. We never get tired of saying it's another beautiful day in Tucson, sunny and 68 today. Simply no better place to be. As we get started today, everyone here wants to wish all of you happy holidays. Over the last 11 days, Arizona Vice President of Athletics Dave Heeke has been busy seeking and identifying the new head football coach at the University of Arizona. Today, it becomes official. Following opening statements, all media will be invited to ask questions for any of the men you see on screen. To do that, we ask that you enter your name and media outlet in the Q&A box at the bottom of the screen, along with who your question is intended for. Due to the high volume of media attending, please ask one question at a time. Decisions like hiring a new coach aren't possible without the support and leadership of the University of Arizona campus. That leadership starts with the president. Dr. Robbins has played a major role in athletics since his arrival in Tucson 3.5 years ago. Along with his support, he's also a huge Wildcat fan of all their athletic teams. So to get us started today, please welcome the president of the University of Arizona, Bobby Robbins.
Brian, thank you so much. Good afternoon, and thank all of you for joining us on such short notice. Before we talk about our exciting new leader of Arizona football, I want to extend my thoughts on behalf of the university community to all of those in Tucson, our state, across the nation, and around the world who have been impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic. While there's light at the end of the tunnel, there are difficult months ahead, and all of us must remain vigilant and follow good health guidelines. To all of the frontline workers here and everywhere, thank you for your unwavering commitment and sacrifice. The pandemic is why we're holding today's introductory press conference by Zoom, to allow members of the media to get to know our new head football coach while keeping everyone safe. 11 days ago, as Brian said, when Dave Heeke announced a change in the leadership of our football program, Dave and I discussed a set of criteria of what we would want in our next coach. We've also received incredibly valuable input from those who love this university and our athletics programs so much, including the Board of Regents for Arizona. Ultimately, Dave and I agreed that there were some factors that were simply non-negotiable. We wanted energy and passion. We wanted someone who wanted to be the coach at the University of Arizona. We wanted someone who shared our vision and our values. We wanted someone who would embrace our history and connect with former letter winners, alumni, students, and donors. We wanted a coach who our student athletes would respect and love and would see that love return to them. Simply, we knew what we wanted in a new coach, but we didn't know who it would be. In the end, it became clear that Jedd Fisch was our guy. I first met Jedd Fisch more than 3 years ago, and I was immediately struck by his desire and his drive. His story of rising in the football coaching world without ever having played a down of football was certainly unique, but also told me something about his determination and drive. When we made a head coaching change in 2017, we interviewed Jedd for the job, but ultimately we went in another direction. Since that time, Jedd has added to his impressive resume, working alongside Los Angeles Rams head coach Sean McVay, and then with New England Patriots legendary coach Bill Belichick. Yet after speaking with Jedd this week, it became clear to Dave and me that Jedd's heart remained where it started in college football and with the University of Arizona. I want to express my sincere gratitude to Dave Heeke for leading an outstanding search. We interviewed many excellent, outstanding coaches and communicated with several hundred knowledgeable people in and around the game, as well as those who know our university best. We spoke with some simply outstanding candidates, and we were fortunate to have so many qualified coaches interested in our job. And I would just say that I am incredibly grateful to the passion, to the commitment that everybody who has called Dave and me in the last week is expressed about Arizona football. We are excited about the future, and we're excited about bringing championships back to Arizona Stadium. I'm particularly excited about the next chapter of the University of Arizona football, and it's my honor to turn things over to our Director of Athletics, Dave Heeke, who I'll say has skillfully and compassionately managed the challenges of this pandemic, a very challenging period in the history of the university and in the history of Arizona athletics. Dave, would you please introduce our new head football coach?
Well, thank you so much, President Robbins, for your kind words and, more importantly, your support through this entire process. We've always been partners in our work together, and it's never been more evident than in these last 11 days. I want to acknowledge just a couple things right off the top. I first want to thank Paul Rhodes, our defensive coordinator, from our staff, who has been guiding our program on an interim basis. I really appreciate the guidance that Coach Rhodes has provided. I want to thank our letter winners, our donors, our season ticket holders, our alumni, our fan base, our Zona Zoo, our students. As Dr. Robbins said, the passion is real here. The passion at Arizona is real. And we know that, and I appreciate that. And thank you for that. We've been able to chat with a number of people, and just before this call, and I know that that Coach Fisch will talk about this, but we've talked to our alumni, our letter winners, an opportunity that we thought was very important to connect prior to this public session, because they are a key ingredient to the future. And again, have great passion and are so engaged at this moment in time. Today's an exciting day for Arizona athletics, for the future of our football program. As we welcome Jedd Fisch, his wife Amber, his daughters Zaylee, Ashley, and Kendall to the Wildcat family. And I know we're gonna meet them in just a moment, maybe. But if this were normal times, we'd all be together. We would be standing to give Jedd a jersey. We'd be kicking things off that way as we normally do in these situations. But I know that Amber and his family will be a big part of the Arizona family, the Tucson family, the University of Arizona family. And that's a key ingredient as we go forward. As President Robbins mentioned, we spoke with numerous coaches throughout the process over these last 11 days with a diverse backgrounds, coaching experiences, passions for the University of Arizona and this football program. Some had ties to our school, some did not. In the end, Jedd stood above the rest for many reasons. But let me be clear about a few things. Jedd's not our new head coach simply because of his track record in the National Football League or in college football. He's not just our head coach because of the incredible work he has done, the study under phenomenal coaches, the high recommendations from those coaches, some of the greatest in the game: Bill Belichick, Sean McVay, Pete Carroll, and Steve Spurrier, Jim Harbaugh, just to name a few. Jedd's also not the new head coach just because he interviewed for a job 3 years ago, or just because he has a relationship with us, a pre-existing relationship, a mutual friend that was introduced through a mutual friend of Dr. Robbins. He's not our head coach just because of his football knowledge, his ability, his dynamic leadership, his connection with his players, the way his players identify with him, and that vision that he has for Arizona football. No, it's not just those things. No, Jedd Fisch is our new head football coach because he's the right man at the right time to rebuild and bring this program back to prominence, a proud program. I'm confident that as Wildcats across the nation get to know Jedd, they'll fall in love with his energy, his genuineness, his enthusiasm, and his true commitment to the University of Arizona and this football program. Already, he's spoken with many of our alums and the greats of the game. that we're so proud of. He's reached out and connected in those areas. And he understands that we need to bridge that gap that it sometimes has existed. In the future, we will bridge that gap to our great past and our great history and the bones of this program. As I'm sure that Jedd will share in a moment, he embraces our past, our legendary players, our former coaches, our glory years, and will welcome back former Wildcats to our program. You see, Jedd knows for us to be successful, we need to be pulling together in the same direction. Student athletes, coaches, staff, administration, campus partners, our season ticket holders, our donors, our alums, our former letter winners, and each and every person that cares deeply and loves this university. Together, there's nothing we can't do going forward. Later today and in the days ahead, Jedd will be meeting with numerous people virtually and we hope in person as we continue going forward with many of our former players, the alums, the donors, our fan base. And he'll get to work right away assembling a great staff that will get out and work very, very hard as we go forward to move this program in the right direction. And he'll get working on recruiting our current team and our future Wildcat athletes. So with that, it's my honor to introduce the new head football coach for the University of Arizona, Jedd Fisch. Jedd, welcome. Glad to have you. The floor is yours. Bear down.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Dr. Robbins. I want to thank Chad Chatlos, who is a big part of this search as well, and thank the Arizona Board of Regents. It is a dream of mine, and my dream has come true today. I want to really express to all of you that this is not necessarily how we all thought it would go on a Zoom call 3,000 or so miles away in the midst of a global pandemic. But what I do know is I can thank you, and I want to thank the three of you so much for giving me this opportunity. From our conversations, there are a few things that I know. One, that we have a university that supports athletics and understands the incredible value a top-notch football team brings to a university. Two, I know we have a president and an athletic director who want to win and are willing to do what it takes and to put resources behind our program to allow that to happen. Three, I know we have a football alumni group that are excited and are anxious and are willing to help us bring back the successes of the Desert Swarm and the successes of University of Arizona football. Four, we have an incredible group of alumni and donors that have permitted us to have some of the best facilities in the Pac-12 and in the country. And we know that we can continue to count on them and build those relationships and even make it better day in and day out, year in and year out, to be able to continue to provide for our student athletes in the best way possible. And finally, five, we have a student body who cares. We have a student body who wants to win. We have a student body who we will make proud. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate you for trusting me, and I will not let you down. But before we move forward, let me go back in time. In 1985, I would drive every Saturday morning to a high school football game at Bergen Catholic High School in 1986 and 1987 with Coach Bill Rocca. He was the head coach and I was his ball boy. He just completed winning state championships and I was right there by his side. And I remember at that time telling my mom and telling my dad that one day I too was going to lead a football team to championships as the head football coach, but where I wanted to do it was in college football. And one day I'm going to be the head coach of my own program in Division I football. And today that dream became a reality. I want to thank some very important people before we move forward. First and foremost, my beautiful wife, Amber, who has been on this journey with me, has been the person who allowed this dream to come true. Behind every man, there's a much better woman. And I can tell you this, that my wife is a perfect 10. She's a perfect 10 as a wife. She's a perfect 10 as a mom. And she has allowed us to have 3 beautiful girls that have been the most supportive group that you could possibly ever ask for in this profession. Amber, thank you. And I love you. You are my best friend. Zaylee, our 21-year-old, lives in Tucson, goes to the University of Arizona and then to Pima Community College, and is still there in Tucson and looking forward to getting a degree from the university. We are excited to be back close to you and have your mom and your sisters right around the corner. To my future football coach, Ashley, our 11-year-old girl who was so excited last night and will be a regular in the football building and on the practice field. And to our youngest, Princess Kendall, who will tell you everything you need to know about red zone offense and third down defense. Thank you for bringing a smile to our face every day. We are a football family. And when we enter Tucson, Arizona, and the gates and the campus of the University of Arizona, we will make the entire university proud, and our family will be a part of everything that the university has to offer. To my mom, dad, brother, family, and special friends who have lived this journey with us every step of the way, thank you. It saddens me that my dad is not here today and he's no longer with us, but I do know that he'll be watching this press conference and that he'll be proud. Mom, you've been an incredible supporter throughout my entire life. You introduced us all to football back in the early 1980s. And since then, you've embraced my passion, my love, and my craziness regarding this game. To my brother, to my special friends, and to the rest of our family, you've been amazing in your support. And I'm so grateful, and I appreciate all of you. My family has not missed many games in my lifetime, and I can promise you every Saturday in Tucson, there'll be a school of fish waiting to meet the bus and to be on that field every Saturday in the fall. Rarely do you get this moment in time to thank everybody that has ever helped you in this profession. And I don't want to be here all day doing that, but there are certain people that I do need to name. I can't list every player, every coach, every administrator, every friend, every equipment manager, every doctor, every trainer, and every support staff member. But please know you are an integral part of making this tennis player the head football coach at the University of Arizona. Thank you to the amazing players that I've coached and the privilege that I've had to coach them throughout these years. Thank you specifically to the Patriots quarterbacks. It has been an unbelievable year this year, and to be able to spend time with each and every one of you, and then for you guys to support and endorse this opportunity for me, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you. To every player I've had the privilege of coaching prior to here, thank you. You have made me a better coach, and I hope I return the favor and made you a better player. I always have believed that the responsibility as a coach is to give everything you have to help others achieve their goals. Thank you, Bill Rocca, and thank you, Tony Sorrentino. You two were the most influential coaches in my early childhood through elementary school, middle school, and high school. Both of you were high school state championship coaches, and both of you welcomed me into your world for 2 different reasons. But your guidance, your teaching, and the education on the grass has allowed me to have football success. To Steve Spurrier, I went to the University of Florida because of you, and I'm sitting here today because of you. I learned more about offensive football in those 4 years than I ever could have imagined. I learned how to be a great leader of men, and I also learned how to pick the right wife. Coach and Jerry Spurrier are 2 of the greatest in the profession, and it is Amber and I's hope and dream that we can achieve the success of the program comparable to yours. To Coach Capers, Coach Fangio, I spent the first 3 years of my NFL career with you learning how to cross the T's and dot the I's, and I appreciate everything you have done for me in teaching me the details of the game. To Coach Brewster, Coach Golden, Coach Bradley, and Coach Mora, Euphoria gave me the opportunity to be an offensive coordinator and to lead your respective programs, both in college football and in the NFL as an offensive coordinator. And for that, I'm eternally grateful. All of you are great leaders of men, and you relied upon your staff, as I hope I will do as well. Coach Harbaugh, thank you for the opportunity you gave me to come to the University of Michigan. The University of Michigan, a state university similar to the University of Florida, where I graduated from, and similar to the University of Arizona, where I'm currently the head coach, and can't tell you how excited I am about that, are all so similar. All three have a passionate fan base. All three have strong community ties. All three are competitive in so many sports. And I am so grateful to you to introduce me to that program at Michigan and to hopefully continue to attack each day with an enthusiasm unknown to mankind, as you taught all of us who work for you. Coach Carroll, Coach Shanahan, and Coach Billick, to have the three of you as mentors, Super Bowl winning coaches, national championship winning head coach, the best there is in the business. I thank you, and I'm forever grateful. I tried to learn what it would take to one day build a similar program, and it always started with great fundamentals, great passion, and great energy. I will try to do the very best I can to replicate that as well. Competition will be our central theme, as it was in Seattle, and it was wherever Coach Carroll has been. And it is going to be our goal to mix the energy and the passion of our game with the competitive edge that we're seeking to find. 3 years ago, as Dave and Dr. Robbins both mentioned, we spoke about this job when I was finishing up my time as the interim head coach at UCLA. I spent 6 weeks in that role, and I learned a ton. I coached in 2 games, one of which was a bowl game. And while I didn't get the job then, and I had great disappointment, what I wasn't sure of is what was going to happen next. And I was blessed with the opportunity between then and now to have worked for both Sean McVay and Bill Belichick. For 2 years, in 2018 and 2019, I spent every day with Sean as a part of the offensive staff. We went to a Super Bowl. We won 24 games in 2 years, and we competed at the highest level. And while that part was fun, everything I learned from Sean was even better. And to be honest with you, what I learned from Sean's dad might have taken the cake. Tim McVay once told me, Jedd, we will compete with schematics, but we will win with people. And that is going to be our mindset, and that is going to be our mentality here at the University of Arizona. We are going to win with the right people. And finally, to Coach Belichick. We built a great relationship over the years when I was a college coach, and you always opened your building to me. It was a goal of mine to one day to be a part of the greatest football dynasty that we all have ever seen. Last January, when you and Mr. Kraft hired me to be a part of and learn from the Patriot dynasty, the Patriot way, and become a part of your staff, it was the most incredible opportunity. Coach Belichick and Mr. Kraft, I want to thank you. I want to thank you for preparing me for this challenge today. And now it's time for a new chapter. I'm ready, willing, and able to take on this great opportunity to be the head coach at the University of Arizona. And as I said before, first and foremost, we will win with people. We will win with people on the field. We will win with people off the field. We will do all we can to win on the scoreboard, and we will do all we can to win in the game of life. We will hire the right coaches. We will make sure that we interact with our players in a manner that we help lead and mentor the 16, 17, and 18-year-olds trying to join our program and the 18 to 21 and 22-year-olds that will be in our program. I've seen lives change at every level. And when they individually embrace living with purpose and with great value, collectively elected to being part of something bigger than themselves, that is the real power. That is the grace of people. and that is why we will put them first. We will be purposeful, we will be resilient, and we will be original. In other words, we will be pros. We'll find a way to help our football team achieve everything they hope for. We do so by embracing personal and team values, by adopting a set of habits that each person works to live up to inside and outside the program. We'll be resilient. We understand the challenge that's ahead of us. And I cannot tell you how excited I am to take on that challenge. We will do all we can to welcome back everybody that has been successful in the Arizona football program before, and we will do everything we can to help our players be successful going forward. And finally, we'll be original. We'll embrace the originality of each person and our team each year. Each year we'll have a different football team. Each year we'll have a different group of guys. But what we'll try to do is always find the unique spirit and the unique leadership within each and every person on our team. My people-focused football philosophy is a reflection of the choices I've made in my life, from my family with my loving wife and daughters to my multiple but purposeful moves. I believe in the value of elite effort, and simply put, being willing to outwork people and to embrace an ideology of positivity. My approach is direct. It is a direct reflection of many of the great leaders with whom I've had the honor of working. And they've all taught me how to win and what it means to win and how to win big. I am prepared and I am committed to becoming the leader each of these coaches saw in me, and more importantly, becoming the leader that you, Dave, and you, Dr. Robbins, saw in me. It is my professional and personal honor to help the University of Arizona student athletes become a pro. And speaking of pros, we will connect and include the former University of Arizona football players, both the ones that became professionals on the field and the ones that are professionals off of it. They're individuals who have succeeded and played at the highest level. That we will hire coaches that have played at the highest level of football in the National Football League, that have played at elite universities, and hopefully that have played at the University of Arizona. We will do our best to bring in the right players with high character, as well as quality athletes. We'll work as hard as we humanly can to develop a culture of competition. We will bring back Desert Swarm, and we will do it in our unique way. We need to swarm the state of Arizona. We need to own the state of Arizona. We have a 5-game lead in the Territorial Cup and after 94 games, and we need to extend that lead. And it comes from ownership of the Pac-12 South. It becomes of ownership of the state of Arizona. And we will do that, and we will begin that today. I have been a student assistant, a graduate assistant, a quality control coach, an assistant wide receiver coach, an assistant quarterback coach, a quarterback coach, an offensive coordinator in the Pac-12, an offensive coordinator in the Big Ten, an offensive coordinator in the ACC, and an offensive coordinator in the NFL. This was the right time for me to become a head coach, and I am eternally grateful for you, to you, for giving me that opportunity. When we are done here today, we will begin our work to build back Arizona football to where we all want it, a culture of consistent winning. Our program will be one of respect and of accountability. We will respect the game of football and all that it entails, and we'll be accountable to one another, to our teammates, to our families, and to this university. This program needs everyone on this call and everyone in the locker room and every coach and every academic advisor and every player and every equipment manager and every student and every athlete who loves Arizona football. We need you. We're going to be tough. We're going to be mentally and physically tough. There is no shortcut to win. We will play great defense, We will play opportunistic and aggressive offense, and we will play great special teams. And we will believe that, and we will do everything we possibly can to achieve that. So as we move forward, as we begin the 2021 year and begin a new era of Arizona football, I want you to understand that we are going to do everything we possibly can from this point forward to bring back a winning culture and a winning team to the University of Arizona. Bear down.
Thank you, Coach. And welcome again to the University of Arizona. I want to ask that your family turn on their cameras and their microphones, and please welcome your loving family into the Wildcat family.
Hello.
Hi, thank you.
Thank you, girls, for all of your support. I love you.
Bear down.
I love you.
Love you, Dad.
Can everybody introduce themselves?
I'm Amber. I'm Kendall. I'm Ashley. And we are excited.
And we're all Wildcats.
We are
All
all
right.
Wildcats.
And we've got one more family member there too, I see. She's got her microphone muted.
Not my specialty. Sorry about that. I'm just very proud and excited and honored that we've got this wonderful, wonderful opportunity. I'm very proud of my son and his family, my girls over there, and I can't wait to bear down with the University of Arizona.
All right. Want to welcome the entire Fisch family and looking forward to seeing all of you in Tucson down the road here. All right, Coach, we're going to open things up for the media. And once again, if you're a media member and you'd like to ask a question, to do so, enter your name and media outlet in the Q&A box at the bottom of the screen, along with who your question is intended for. And please state that again when we go to you. Due to the volume of media attending, we please ask that you ask one question at a time. So let's open things up now. And first up is Greg Hansen from the Arizona Daily Star. Greg, go ahead.
Jedd, how come you think it took so long for you to become a head coach?
Well, I don't know if it took so long. I guess I'm 44, and I feel that as you go through the experiences in football, it's always going to take, there's going to be different winding roads of different opportunities and different experiences. And to be a head coach at the University of Arizona at this time happens to be the perfect opportunity for me. So I'm extremely grateful, and I feel awfully young. So at 44, I feel like this is a great time to become a head coach.
All right. Thank you, Greg. Next up is Dennis Dodd, CBS Sports. Dennis, go ahead.
Jedd, congratulations. Dr. Robbins, you're a noted cardiologist. Jedd, you've had major heart surgery in the past. I have to ask, is there any other relationship besides president and coach in the past?
No.
Okay.
No. I happen to have had heart surgery in 2003, and I met Dr. Robbins in 2017. But that is about the only relationship of the past, is that we met in 2017. And fortunately, he did know about when I explained to him what type of surgery I had. And he gave the blessing, like my surgeons did, that it's going to be a long, long road of life. And I can't wait to be a part of Arizona football and do everything I possibly can to win a bunch of games here.
Good. And also, Dr. Robbins, go ahead.
Yeah, you go ahead.
Dr. Robbins, that's the first I heard of Jedd interviewing in 2017. Where was he in the process before Kevin was hired?
Yeah, Dave had finalists, and I was able to participate in the interview of the final candidates, and Jedd was part of that. But just for the record, I'm a heart surgeon, not a cardiologist.
Okay.
Yeah.
Even better. Great.
All right. Thanks very much. Next up is Saul Bookman from Fox Sports Arizona. Saul, go ahead.
Yeah, congratulations, Jedd, on the gig. First of all, you've been at a few stops in the last 10 years, and I think everybody understands that. What do you say to the fan base in terms of, the frequency of these stops and how that's going to come to an end, at least here in the next couple of years?
Well, I would say the easy answer is none of those stops were to become a head coach. And this is the stop to become a head coach. So there is nowhere else to go. This is where I want to be. That was the ultimate goal, the ultimate dream, and the ultimate really path to get there for me. A lot of people take a lot of different paths. Our profession, as you know, is extremely unique in that regard. And a lot of times you wind up either leaving a job based on circumstances or opportunity. And I've had some incredible opportunities to learn. And I, at that point in time, didn't want to pass up those opportunities. So when this head coaching job was to arise, I was going to be ready and the most prepared I possibly could be.
All right. Thank you, Saul. Next up is Jason Shearer, Wildcat Authority. Jason, go ahead.
Hey, Coach. Thanks for meeting with us today. I was just wondering, you've worked in college, you've worked in the NFL. What is the staff composition going to be like, and what's your goal in terms of the major hires there with timing and all that?
Yeah, thanks, Jason. I appreciate that question regarding the staff, because all good coaches and all good CEOs and all good presidents have to have great staff. And I know that Dave feels that way about his athletic department. I know Dr. Robbins feels that way about the university, and that's certainly how I feel about our coaching staff. We're going to have a broad range of coaches. We're going to get to that as soon as this conference is over and as soon as we're done meeting with the individual media as well. And then we're going to start really working on a great coaching staff. And it's going to be a coaching staff that has all sorts of diversity to it. We're going to be able to find some coaches that have coached or coach in the NFL. We're going to have some coaches that currently coach or have coached in the Pac-12 or down here or in the Big 12 in the surrounding areas. We're going to find some coaches that have played in the National Football League. We're going to find some coaches that have played at the University of Arizona. And we're going to find some coaches that have played or at other places across the country. But we're going to build a tremendous staff. I feel very confident in that. I feel very confident that one of the greatest assets of moving and being on the different teams that I've been on and being in both college and pro football are the amount of coaches that I've come in contact with and the amount of coaches that I believe will be able to bring down to Tucson. I mean, who wouldn't want to be down in Arizona right now? So we are as excited as it comes to be a part of something special. And I believe wholeheartedly we will have an outstanding coaching staff sooner rather than later.
Thank you. And again, if you have a question for either Coach Fisch, Dave Heeke, or Dr. Robbins, you can enter your name and your media outlet in the Q&A box, and we'll get you in order. And next up is Justin Spears, Arizona Daily Star. Justin?
Hi, this question is for Dave Heeke. Dave, going back to your press conference when you first began this coaching search, you listed a bunch of requirements to be the head coach, including somebody who embodies the bear down spirit. What was it about Jedd Fisch that said he was the guy that you guys were looking for?
Well, I think certainly, Jedd and his experiences, his passion. I talked about, energy, enthusiasm, all of those components, but also having a sincere understanding and appreciation for what that bear down spirit is. Our history, our tradition, the toughness, those types of things are incredibly important as we build a program. And so what Jedd has done is weave that together with his outstanding experience at a multitude of levels in the NFL, National Football League, as well as college football. And to bring those to the table and combine that with this great spirit that we have here and his understanding of that were the key, pieces to him being here, and really to make us aware and to, help us understand that passion that he has for the Bear Down spirit.
All right. Thanks for the question, Justin. Next up is Jason Barr, K-Gun 9 Television.
Yeah, hi. Congratulations and welcome to Tucson. It's great that you're here. Actually, didn't have my hand up, but I'll be happy to come up with a question. Were you able to follow Arizona a lot when you were on the East Coast? I know for myself, I wasn't on the East. I was on the East Coast too, and sometimes we didn't see a lot of games that started at 10 o'clock. Have you been able to follow the Wildcats from afar for a while?
Well, I would say that obviously this year was so unique that anytime you could catch a football game, no matter what day or time it was on, you were going to try to catch it because games could be on Wednesdays, Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays, or Tuesdays. So we're always trying to find an opportunity to watch some football. Saturday nights obviously is a time that we're really getting ready and going to bed to prepare for a big game on Sunday. So there was certainly a chance to be able to watch a lot of Arizona football. Obviously, I was a lot more in tune to Arizona football when I was coaching in the Pac-12 3 years ago, when I was at UCLA, and be able to really be very clear on what was going on there. But I'm excited. I've obviously seen the team play this year. And really what I'm most excited about right now is to go get to Tucson, load up my laptop, and start watching tape and really get to understand the players that we have in this program, see what the talent looks like, see what the size of the speed of the players look like, and then see what we can do with that group, and then go recruit and go see what that's going to look like, and really try to build this football team and really not so much worry about what has been done in the past, the last few years, but really go moving forward and see how we can build this team the way we want it.
All right. Thanks, Jason. Next up is Shane Dale, Wildcat Country. Shane, go ahead.
Hey, Coach. Just want to ask you, I think you had a meeting with some football players prior to meeting with us. Do you just tell us a little bit about how that went? What was your message to them? And to those football players who weren't able to attend, what's your message you want to send to them today?
Yeah, it was a great meeting that we were able to have. And I was actually able to have two meetings today, one to the team and one to the football alumni. And it was really outstanding to be able to talk to both those groups prior to this. The biggest message that I wanted to give to the football alumni is that I understand the history and what has gone on here over the course of time. And I've really done my research on what it looked like when Larry Smith was the head coach, and then when Dick Tomey was the head coach, and then when John Makovic was the head coach, and then when Mike Stoops was the head coach, and then when Rich Rodriguez was the head coach, and then when Kevin Sumlin was the head coach. And I recognize and see what has gone on and what some of the positives and negatives were in each one of those years and tenures and times. And what I've asked them to do is to open up this forum and open up this relationship and welcome our family to Tucson in the same way that we want to welcome them into our building, that our football facility and our practices are going to be open in the springtime. We want people to watch us go. We want our alumni and we want our fans and we want people to see what we do, because I want everyone to understand how hard we're going to work, how much we're going to try to get back to where it once was in 1998 when they're fourth in the country and 12-1. Had an unbelievable conversation with Teddy Bruschi both last night and this morning, and really understand where University of Arizona football was, and really looking forward to trying to get it back to that place that nobody wanted to play Arizona football. And we're a team that played angry. We were a team that played mad. We're a team that played tough. And we're a team that found a way to hold the team to 30 yards rushing a game, which is about the craziest statistic I think I might have ever heard in the game of football.
All right. Thanks, Shane. Next up is Ezra from Arizona Desert Swarm.
Thank you. For a question for President Robbins, can you just elaborate on what impressed you with Jedd when you met him back in 2017?
Yeah, I think, Ezra, exactly what you saw when he was reading his opening statement. The passion, the intelligence, the absolute commitment to integrity, to help our young men become not only great football players, but great people in life so that they can realize their hopes and dreams, focus on their academics, get a good education. Because I love that NCAA commercial where 98% of our student athletes, which we have around 500, will go on to go be a professional. And Coach Fisch mentioned this in his remarks. Will go on to be a professional at something other than the sport they're playing at the University of Arizona. So it was incredibly important for both Dave and me to find someone who had been at elite academic institutions and valued an education, and to help our young men grow not only as football players, that's important, but to grow as men, to be leaders in their communities. And I think that, we saw a lot of really quality, high integrity coaches, but just we came to the conclusion that Jedd was the right person at the right time for the University of Arizona. And I think we're incredibly fortunate to have him.
All right, thank you. Next up is Craig from ABC 15 Television in Phoenix. Craig, go ahead.
Yeah, Jedd, this is for you. It's a very simple question, but why the University of Arizona? What was it about the Wildcats that drew you to that job?
Yeah, that's a great question. And it's one that I can't wait to answer. Everything about college football to me is about the pageantry, about the energy, about being on a campus where you're not just talking about a sport, you're talking about all sports. To be at a part of a program that's competing and has the opportunity to compete at the highest level in a place where you have support from an athletic director, a president, and a board of regents that are willing to, and really a set of donors that are willing to help you build a program that's top notch. The idea that my 9-year-old and my 11-year-old can go to the basketball game of the number 6 basketball team in the country and watch Adia Barnes lead a team as a top 10 team, to go meet with Sean Miller and be able to watch Arizona basketball. And we all know all the successes of Arizona basketball. I texted with Steve Kerr this morning, and the idea to be able to be at a place where I could pick his brain about all the successes that Lute Olson had and why they had the success that they had, to be able to be around one of the best, if not the best, women's softball program in the country, and to be able to let my girls go and spend a Saturday afternoon at 1 p.m. In the springtime and go watch some softball, and to really be a part of everything that this university has to offer. It doesn't just stop or start, I should say, with football. Football is important. Football is huge, and football has ruled my life for 22 years. And I would be lying to say if it was anything but that. But I'll tell you that the part of being on a campus again, the part of being at a place where our daughter chose to go to school, who's now be able to be close by her and to be back in Tucson, all of those things led to the opportunity and the timing. And the timing was right. I felt like I said to Dr. Robbins in our interview, you go to college, then you go to medical school, and then you have a residency, you have an internship, you have a fellowship, and then maybe you take another fellowship, and then it's time to go out on your own, and it's time to open up your own practice. And the timing was right. The people on this call, Dave and Dr. Robbins, believed in me. I believed in the program, and I believe more than ever now that together we're going to be able to get this program exactly where all three of us envision it to be.
All right, thanks for the question. Next up is Mark McClune from Phoenix, Arizona family.
Hey, Jedd, congratulations. Welcome to the desert. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can. Thank you very much.
Hey, I was reading that you had left a note every day on Steve Spurrier's car for 450 straight days. I'm wondering if that is indeed true. And if I would have told you, I guess in day like 223, you'd be in the spot you were now, what would you have told me?
You know, Coach Spurrier called this afternoon and I didn't get a hold of him. And then I called him back and I missed his call. I always tell the story that Coach Spurrier I said to him one day, who would have ever thought that after a daily grind of leaving notes on your car and asking you to open up a 5-minute slot of time to be able to let some New Jersey tennis player get into your building and start learning football from you and start volunteering my time way before there ever was student assistants, and way before there was more than 2 graduate assistants, and way before there was recruiting assistants. And you finally said yes, that you would be at my wedding, that you would be at my first game at Michigan State, that you would then be able to be a part of a press conference where I've now become a head coach. So I'm so eternally grateful that on about the 400th day or so, he finally actually accepted that letter or that invitation that I had. And there was a lot of creativity there. I want you to know it wasn't just the same letter every day. Okay. There was no, I didn't just hit computer, print, and redo it again. I mean, we had handwritten notes, we had packets, we had everything possible to sell and to get an opportunity to be resilient. And that's why one of our core traits with our Arizona football players is resiliency. And I really believe that if you never quit and you never give up and you give it everything you have every single day, the rewards will come. And today, and truthfully, my entire career, rewards came because of that.
Great story. Thanks, Coach. All right, next up is Rich Herrera from Wildcats Radio 1290. Rich.
Thank you very much. Coach Fisch, welcome to Tucson. Question, a lot of folks on the radio have asked this about the Arizona football program over the last few years. What's the identity of your team going to be? What's it going to be known for offensively or defensively?
Yeah, well, I would say this. Our identity is going to be toughness. Our identity is going to be toughness, mental toughness, and physical toughness. It's going to be about a team that will never, ever, ever stop competing. Now, if I was to sit here and tell you we're going to be a 4-3 or a 3-4, we're going to play a diamond front, I don't know that. I don't know that because of the fact that I've never been a part of, let's say, a game plan meeting at the University of Arizona yet. I haven't sat in and watched what spring ball looks like yet. I haven't been able to sit there today and be able to evaluate each one of our players and tell you what position groups our players fit into. Offensively, I can tell you we'll be a precision passing game. I've always been a guy that's thrown the football, but I've also been on teams that have led the league in rushing, including this year. I've been on teams when we were in the Rams and we ended up number 2 in rushing and at the Super Bowl. So we're going to find a way to run the football. But I'll tell you this, in order to know if your team is tough, you better know how to run the football. You better be able to stop the run, and you better be able to cover kicks. And if you can do those 3 things, we know we're going to have a tough football team, and we're going to be a hard out. And there's not going to be one team that's going to be looking forward to or circling Arizona on their schedule and not think that that's going to be the toughest game of their season. And that's what our ultimate goal is going to be. It'll take some time. I understand that. But what it will do or what it won't do is won't be out of reach. We'll make sure that we get there. And we're going to have a brand of football that people are going to want to be a part of here at University of Arizona.
All right, thanks, Rich. We're going to wrap up our media questions with Michael Lev from the Arizona Daily Star. Michael.
Hey there. This question is for Dr. Robbins. There is an impression among the fans and even within the media that you have a pretty large role in deciding who the football coach can be. Can you just sort of explain the level of your involvement in this whole search and situation?
They're down.
Congrats, Coach.
Nick Folk, one of our top University of Arizona football players, 13-year NFL vet, just showed up.
Hey, Nick. Yeah, Michael. So I'm involved with everything at the university. I'm fond of saying there's 168 hours in every week. Make every one of them work to every one of them like you mean it. And so I'm really involved with all aspects of the university, as people will tell you. Dave Heeke is Jedd Fisch's boss. And I worked in collaboration and right by Dave in helping him get the support he needed to go out and look for the best fit and coach for this university. And we found Jedd Fisch. And I'm very excited about that, but be very clear about it. Dave is the leader of our athletics program. I've got deans of a medical school. We've got deans of law schools. They'll all tell you I'm pretty involved with their programs as well. But, you know, I'm reminded of this story that Brett Favre told when he was with the Minnesota Vikings, that, you know, he really didn't understand what that word schism meant. Schism in the locker room. He said, people just stopped using it when we started winning. So when Coach Fisch starts winning, then that's what we're going to talk about. And that's what we're planning for. And that is why I helped Dave, I helped support him to go out and do a very exhaustive, very labor intensive search to find the best fit for the University of Arizona.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Robbins. Coach Fisch, I just got a couple quick questions for you. What was your daughter that lives here in Tucson? What was her reaction when you told her that you were coming to town?
She was excited to be around her sisters. I'm not exactly sure the rest of it, but I know that she was thrilled that her sister's going to be in town and that we're going to be close by. Not too close, though. She still has her own life to live, but we'll be right there around the corner. And I can't imagine that she wouldn't be thrilled to have her mom and her sisters in town and know that we're here in support of her. And we can't wait to watch her continue to thrive here in Tucson.
All right. And finally, Sean Miller is a diehard Pittsburgh Steelers fan. He named his dog after Jack Lambert. The Steelers have dropped 3 in a row. Do you have any comforting thoughts for Coach Miller right now?
I don't.
Okay. We're trying to keep him pumped up, you know. The season's not over yet. Coach Fisch, thanks very much for your time today. We welcome you to the University of Arizona. We're excited to have you here in person, of course. I know it's going to be a lot of work between now and then, but best of luck. And I know we'll be hearing from you quite a bit down the road.
Thank you very much.
All right. And thanks to Dr. Robbins and Dave Heeke. Gentlemen, if you have nothing else, we're going to wrap it up today and wish everybody happy holidays.